any and all innovation involves risk. If you want to eliminate risk, you will never do anything new. And I would argue that there was a period in GM's recent history where we did try to play it too safe, and consequently we didn't innovate. Like, we're really leading with our chins on the Chevrolet Volt. Where is it? I guess it's on the Chevy stand now. But the vehicle, that electric vehicle with a piston engine range extender, we have committed to developing that vehicle and working with battery companies to make that possible. Are we 100% sure we can get it done? No. We're 90% sure, but in the old days, GM would not have dared show that a prototype like that until we had absolutely all questions answered, in which case somebody else would have already done it.
Companies in the industry will sort of pick up on this idea of the E-Flex system and
I think that there's no reason that other companies can't ultimately do this. I don't expect it to remain a GM exclusive. And there is nothing about the concept of having a battery-driven vehicle with a sort of a piston engine emergency recharger, or like an emergency generator. Nothing novel about that concept. In 1968, General Motors did some hybrids in what GM used to call Parade of Progress, and we demonstrated a battery-powered vehicle where the engine would cut in and recharge the batteries. Where we have intellectual property that nobody else has is in all of the control technology, how to control the battery, when to discharge, how do you put the regenerative braking back in, how do you measure the state of charge of the battery so that when the internal combustion engine has to kick in. That's the part where we have more expertise than anybody else, and it would take what we call the whole control strategies.
If this is truly the future, why are we not seeing more attempts to develop this instead of just in a concept car?
Well, I think what has really surprised everybody was the rapid advancement in lithium-ion technology. And to try to do it with nickel metal hydride batteries is really tough. And nickel metal hydride, because of the fact that they contain nickel, which is a very expensive material, you never really can get the cost down. There was the same thing with nickel cadmium, which on top of everything else is pretty toxic. But lithium shows the promise because lithium is plentiful and it's cheap and it's environmentally safe.
You're diversifying so much in fuels, hydrogen fuels, biodiesel. Why not invest in one? And it seems like you're over-diversifying.
We will use any fuel that's available to us, and if batteries are a better fuel than anything else, we'll use it. And right now, I'm personally convinced that batteries are on the way to being a really, really good propulsion source for cars. But 2 years ago, I would have told you they're not.
With Chrysler announcing an updated version of the Viper with 600 horsepower, is GM going to get into a horsepower race with Chrysler?
Yeah, probably. The market is really fragmenting in terms of what people want. And since we try to sell between 4 and 4.5 million vehicles a year in the United States, we can't really say, well, we're not going to serve you guys because we prefer to do V8 engines, or we're no longer going to serve you Camaro fanatics because we're going to do everything with batteries or everything small cars. What you pose is a very interesting question, because a lot of times I do get asked, well, are you guys schizophrenic? I mean, on the one hand, you got the Camaros, or the Camaro here, or the Corvette Z06, but then at the same time you're showing a battery-operated vehicle. All I can say is different strokes for different folks, and we do what the market wants.